I want to take this moment to talk about the increasing problem of suicides, especially among those in poverty. This is a really sensitive issue for me, knowing a friend from high school who took his life. So, this topic is a serious problem that affects many people's lives all over the world. It's not just something that you hear about and hardly ever happens. It's important to realize how serious it is. 42% more people committed suicide in 2010 with America's economic recession than the Great Depression. In times of poor economic situations like these, situations of suicide go disturbingly up. Setting aside that there is more severe poverty in other parts of the world, let's focus on America. There are about 45.6 million Americans in poverty today. The poverty rate as of 2013 is about 15%. That's 3 out of any 20 people who are struggling. And 40% of all adults in America will experience poverty sometime in their lifetime. The good news is that for most Americans, poverty can be escaped. Many of them only stay in poverty for 1 year, but that doesn't mean they should be ignored when their help is needed. A year of struggle can seem like a long time, longer than it really is. What's worse is the 15% that get stuck in poverty, which is a serious problem for mental health. I'll talk you through it. People who already have mental health conditions are more susceptible to poverty. They have reduced development, which leads to worsening mental health condition. That means increased vulnerability, less education, and more susceptible to violence and abuse, which leads to even worsened mental health. This can make him sad, tired, and hopeless. Mental illness leading to poverty is called the social selection theory. Now, the social causation theory is where poverty can lead to mental illness and lead further into poverty. People in poverty can get mental illness from being depressed, from being unemployed, and have a low education level. Being in poverty, unless you get out, everything leads to a bad outcome. It can make someone lose their job, lead them to the use of drugs, or need psychological help. Unemployment is known to be the leading cause of any depression, anxiety, alcoholism, or any sorts of suicidal thinking. Being in poverty is just a dangerous cycle. Most people feel that they can't escape poverty and don't have any control over their lives anymore. Suicide is the only way out for them. Families who are in poverty often become trapped in the cycle of poverty. After 3 generations of being in poverty, the family doesn't have any ancestors left who passed down the social knowledge and skills to escape poverty. They don't have the resources, education, or money to get out. It can be impossible for some people to escape poverty. Being in poverty can also be the result of divorces and relationship problems. Single people are more vulnerable to suicidal thoughts. This is clearly a problem, and we as human beings need to find a way to solve it. As for helping people escape poverty, there isn't much as individuals that we can do. Perhaps the government could find a way to better our education system, or find a way to give people an opportunity for better employment. However, there are local companies to help people out of poverty and find employment. You can donate to your local Goodwill or Salvation Army to help general people stuck in poverty find a job. My friend also told me about a nonprofit company called Tom's that sends shoes and eyeglasses over to the less fortunate countries in the world. And I know that there are many other nonprofit organizations out there. As individuals, what we can do is talk to the people we know who are struggling. Talk to our family and friends, or even a stranger who might seem like they just need somebody. People who have suicidal thoughts don't really want to die. They just want to stop hurting. They probably don't want to bring it up, but they still need help. Any suicidal talk from somebody is not a joke. From personal experience, I had a friend who said he just might shoot himself if his girlfriend broke up with him one more time. He wasn't joking. My heart goes out to him and his family. And don't just think that someone needs to have any sort of mental illness to commit suicide, because not all suicides are because of mental illnesses. Healthy people can feel suicidal too. It's important to notice the signs. Look for these in ones who you think might be vulnerable to depression or other suicidal thoughts. And we can broaden the topic to anyone who has suicidal thoughts, someone who's been sexually abused or in a tough relationship, not only people in an economic crisis. These are some of the warning signs. Anybody who talks about committing suicide or saying off that they were better off dead is a definite sign. Also, noticing someone finding a weapon to commit suicide, feeling hopeless and depressed, saying goodbyes and writing letters, or have a sudden sense of calmness after being extremely depressed can be showing signs of being suicidal. The first step is just talking to that person. Tell them that you've been concerned about them lately and ask them how they're feeling. Tell them that you're there for them and that you want to help. Listen to them without judging. And don't try to fix them like there's something wrong with them. Try to be courteous and respectful of what they think. If you find out that they are having suicidal thought, it's important to find out how serious they really are about suicide. Do they have a specific plan? Do they have any weapons in possession? Or a time or place that they plan on doing it? Sometimes the care of a friend or family member alone can prevent someone from committing suicide. But other times, you might have to go seek more help, if it's professional or even somebody you trust. But you should never leave that person alone when you know that they need someone. All it takes is one person to change a life, and it could be you. Be proactive, take an interest in others' lives, and go out of your way. You could be the person to save their life.